Hi, today I'm going to discuss a case involving defects in construction. Relatively speaking, cases regarding defects in construction are quite a few as compared to delays in construction in Indian region. We usually see like disputes and arbitrations around delay claims, and this one is interesting because it involves defects, I mean, and it also involves a large arbitration award in favor of a contractor. So that's what got me interested in this case. The name of the case is Delhi Airport Metro Express Limited versus Delhi Metro Rail Corporation Limited. This was decided by the Supreme Court in 2021, in September of 2021. So it's very recent in those terms. Now, what happened was that a concession agreement was signed between the DMRC, which is the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, the utility which operates the current New Delhi's metro rail system, to build a 22.7 kilometer line to the airport on a PPP slash joint venture basis. The winning consortium was of Reliance Infrastructure Limited. Then it was Reliance Electric Limited or something like that, and a foreign company involved. So it was a consortium, and they won this in a competitive bidding kind of process. And in August of 2008, the concession agreement was signed. The deal was that the civil construction work would be done by DMRC, the existing metro rail operator, which involved viaducts, girders, and those kind of things. And the rolling stock, signaling, all the operational materials required to run a metro railway was to be financed, procured, and operated by the concessionaire, uh, which went by the name of Delhi Airport Metro. So Delhi Airport Metro essentially started. I mean, the civil work went on, and other related work with the concessionaire started in 2008. But the things got delayed, and it's only in January of 2011, after a number of EOTs, that the work on the metro was certified by the regulator, the safety regulator, that they can go ahead and start this railway. So in February of 2011, the commercial operation for the airport express line started. Now, it's interesting that within only about a year, so in February, in March of 2012, starting from February of 2011, and only in March of 2012, the concessionaire complained of defects in the civil construction work. So what were those defects? So they alleged that there were problems with the construction quality and the ultimate work product of viaducts, which were part of the express line, and the bearings for the viaducts. Now, it the commercial operations essentially from February of 2011 ran till uh, May of 2012, when the operator, Delhi Airport Metro, again raised the same issue. Plus, it also raised the issue of cracks in the girders, and that the girders have sunk at some places due to those cracks. In June 2012, DMRC replied that the bearings didn't have any problems, but there was some grouting material which was below and above the bearings, which might have got loosened, etc., and can be repaired. But the concessionaire didn't agree with this, and in July of 2012, it issued a 90-day cure notice under the concession agreement's provisions. Now it seems that DMRC did appoint an agency and repaired some cracks and other things, but it wasn't to the satisfaction of the concessionaire, and hence in October of 2012, the Delhi Airport Metro issued a termination notice. because during the cure period, according to it, the problems were not resolved. Then in October of 2012 itself, DMRC invoked arbitration, uh, and essentially with permission of the regulator, it operated the line at a low speed. And there's some back and forth regarding Delhi Airport Metro again agreeing to operate the line in some public interest, but as an agent of DMRC, which DMRC didn't agree. So after a short while, again the operation stopped. I mean, now, the concessionaire Delhi Airport Metro put in a counterclaim, which was a large counterclaim of what the amount which is three in Indian rupees, it is 3,470 crores, which amounts to at today's exchange rate approximately 462 million dollars, US million dollars. Uh, so roughly a shade less than $500 million of counterclaim they put in. So the arbitrators were all three engineering people with solid long experience in construction engineering, and they formulated issues in the arbitration after the claims and the pleadings were over. Is the first issue was whether there were defects in the civil structure, and secondly, did the defects cause a material adverse effect under the concession agreement which hampered or essentially stopped the concessionaire from operating the line as a normal line under the concession agreement. And then where the alleged defects cured in the cure period by DMRC, and actually what damages were payable based on what the factual determination of the issues was arrived at. And then let's look at how the tribunal dealt with all these issues. As such, the key factor around is in their analysis, apart from the technical aspects, was what happens to the amount invested as equity by the promoters of the consortium, because the line was financed by them to be operated for a long period of time under the concession agreement. So let's consider how the arbitral tribunal dealt with factual and other issues. So the first thing the arbitral tribunal analyzed was what were the civil construction defects in the whole airport metro express line. So they found that based on the earlier surveys done by DMRC, joint inspection, etc., that there were 1551 cracks in 367 girders, which approximates to almost 72% of the girders having cracks. So the arbitral tribunal determined that these kind of cracks which were not cured in the cure period after the cure notice was issued by the Delhi Airport Metro, this amounted to a material adverse effect. Further, they determined that there were almost 80 girders with twists in them, which range from 10 to 20 millimeter twists, and there were some more others. I mean, these two the arbitral tribunal felt were not corrected, and only some minor work for cracks which were less than 10 mm by grinding were corrected. So these two were not corrected during the cure period after the cure notice, and hence also constituted a material adverse effect. Based on these determinations, the arbitral tribunal came to the conclusion that the termination notice issued by the Delhi Airport Metro was validly issued. So this concluded a major part of their factual analysis, that the termination notice was issued on valid grounds, which made it a valid notice and further action of termination, because uh, based on the fact that DMRC didn't cure the civil construction defects during the cure period to be valid. And hence the question came that what damages should be granted. One of the criteria for termination payments was adjusted equity. So there were two major components of the adjusted equity amount. One was the debt raised, and what was the adjusted equity itself to form compensation components of termination payments. So the 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 Delhi Airport Metro's uh, counterclaim was, as we have seen, was for 3,474 3,470 crores, which amounts to approximately US in US dollar terms 462 US a million US dollars approximately. So the arbitral tribunal considered 611.95 crores in Indian rupees, which roughly equates to $81 million in US dollars terms, and determined the adjusted equity 611.95 crores or $81 million was the equity infused by the promoters, and the adjusted equity based on certain factors in the concession agreement was determined to be 983 crores, which equals to US dollar 130 million approximately. Yes, 130 million approximately. Then, based on these calculations, the arbitral tribunal essentially granted rupees 2,782.33 crores with further interest as termination payment. In US dollar terms, it approximates to $370 million, US million dollars. Then in the courts, a single judge of the High Court upheld the award where it was challenged by DMRC. The division bench of the High Court overturned the award and reversed it. And based on the Delhi Airport Metro's appeal, the matter reached essentially the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court has interestingly completely upheld the award, and also the reasoning given by the arbitral tribunal for upholding the award based on a defects determination. So what were the Supreme Court's major reasons for this finding? So the Supreme Court essentially found that they went on a long description that there is a disturbing tendency to set aside the awards by reassessing the evidence on the ground of perversity, that is lack of evidence, or patent illegality, which is a ground to interfere in domestic awards or set aside those domestic awards in India. But they said it should not be done, and there was very limited scope to set aside awards, even domestic awards. Arbitration awards in India. And after that, they came to one of the major contentions that there was an ambiguity in the arbitral tribunal's determination of civil construction defects. They said, they based on the evidence on the record and the findings of the arbitral tribunal, they said they were very fair and there was no ambiguity regarding the curing of the defects, that the defects were there and they were not cured in the cure period. Another big issue was that, if you recall, I had said that the line was restarted even after the termination notice was given, based on a review by CMRS, the Commissioner of Metro Rail Safety, the safety regulator, whereby they recommended reduced speed to restart the line, and it was operated for some time, where Delhi Airport Metro said that they were operating it as the agent in public interest, but not full-fledged operation. So what Delhi Metro DMRC said, that this amounts to certification that there were no defects, and even if they were there, they were cured. So the Supreme Court said that's absolutely incorrect interpretation of that safety regulator certification, because that is not a certification for curing of the defects which were there, pointed out by the concessionaire. And further, if we see further, it was pointed out by the Supreme Court that even like the CMRS certificate allowed operation of the railway only with reduced speed. So it was a conditional certificate, which itself didn't help DMRC's case, that it was a certification of all the defects being cured. Other thing, what the Supreme Court said is very interesting, that the award was given by an arbitral tribunal composed of all engineers. So the award should not be scrutinized on various like legal niceties, because they were not legally trained people, and it cannot be expected from them uh, for their award to have considered each and every kind of legal variations which apply. This was an engineers award, and it should be considered in that context, I mean. The other thing, the Supreme Court noted that the arbitral tribunal had correctly calculated the adjusted equity, because by considering the debt which was raised and 130% of adjusted equity, which amounted to the USD $81 million, or roughly 611.95 crores, which is mentioned, and it was a fair determination of what the termination payment, what adjusted equity would be, and hence what the termination payment would be. And hence the Supreme Court completely upheld the arbitral tribunal's award of rupees 2,782.33 crores, which amounts to US dollar approximately $370 million. Remember, the claim was for about $462 million, out of which $370 million claim was upheld as granted by the arbitral tribunal's award. So this is a major landmark case in terms of defects in India. That what happens if the defects are there. The take-home lessons are essentially that defects need to be taken seriously. The cure period needs to be taken very seriously, and if it's possible to fix those problems, they should be fixed. Else, termination payments would trigger. Thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you very much also for attending the fantastic conference organized by the the, the Society of Construction Laws India branch. Thank you very much.